In this video, let us discuss the first half of the concepts about teaching ability, and all you gotta do is to keep on watching.
Love me like you said. Darling, tell me all the ways.
What's up guys, this is Niel and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about the Deped Ranking, lesson plan tutorials, and other teacher-related stuff. So for today's video, sabi ko nga kanina, i-discuss natin ang first half ng mga concepts tungkol sa teaching ability, which is a part of your questions about the Deped Ranking Interview. Pero wait, bago tayo mag-start, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down there at i-hit ang notification bell para maging updated kayo sa lahat ng mga videos natin every single week. As stated in the first module of the RPMS PPST, teachers should have mastery of content. That means when a teacher is asked about a lesson, the teacher should answer it correctly most of the time because it is our job. And another thing, mastery of content means you can teach a certain lesson in different ways. Bakit? If you truly master your lesson, you can teach it in 1,000 ways to accommodate the different types of learners you have. And remember, a teacher explains a lesson correctly because mastery of content is equals to clear delivery. Ibig sabihin, kung master mo ang lesson, hindi malilito ang bata once na nakinig siya sa'yo and nag-aral na sila. In short, kung master mo ang lesson, hindi mahihirapang intindihan ng mga bata yan. Kasi master mo nga siya eh. Kasi kaya mo siyang i-explain sa iba't ibang paraan. Now, how is this manifested? Number 1, if a teacher knows activities from the concrete level to the abstract level. For example, if you are a teacher of mathematics at magtuturo ka ng subtraction sa isang grade 2 pupil, malalaman mo agad na mahina pa or weak pa ang foundation ng bata sa subtraction. So, you will provide different ways para maintindihan niya ang concept ng subtraction. So, for example, sa concrete level, magpaprovide ka muna ng mga popsicle sticks para magkaroon siya ng hands-on activities at maintindihan niya ang concept ng subtraction sa pamamagitan ng kanyang senses. And once na makapag-adjust na ang mga bata sa concrete level, dadalhin niyo siya ngayon sa abstract level, which is by solving subtraction problems mentally. Kung ganun ang ginagawa ng teachers, kung kaya niyang mag-provide ng iba't ibang activities, ibig sabihin, master niya ang kanyang lesson. The second one is if the teacher uses a lot of resource materials. So for example, yung mga resource materials natin is yung ating curriculum guide, teacher's guide, learner's material, nandito yung mga textbooks natin, yung mga references natin from the LRMDS, or sa kahit anuman. As long as the teacher uses a lot of resource materials, mas nagiging klaro sa kanya ang lesson na ituturo niya. One way of knowing whether the teacher truly masters the lesson is through the lesson plan. As we all know, a teacher makes sure that the lesson plan is always SMART. S is for specific. Ibig sabihin, nakakapag-target tayo ng specific learning competencies and learning objectives. M means measurable. Ibig sabihin, yung lesson natin ay kayang i-assess through different activities and assessments. Letter A is attainable. Ibig sabihin, the lesson is age and level appropriate. R is for result-oriented because every lesson should have a learning outcome. Kailangan may evaluation palagi yan. Kailangan may end product. Siyempre, ang lesson dapat natin ay time-bounded because a lesson should always be appropriate and has a limited amount of time only. Well, aside from those characteristics, a teacher should also recognize that there are a lot of ways to teach a lesson and make it meaningful to the different types of learners inside the classroom. So, paano gagawin yon? Number 1 is through the lesson plan formats because every lesson plan format has a different purpose, such as yung 4E's natin, 5E's, 7E's, explicit, deductive, inductive, at napakarami pa, mga problem-based, mga ganyan. Lahat sila ay may kanya-kanyang purpose. Ngayon, kung nakikita agad ng teacher na mas madaling ituro ang isang specific lesson if he or she uses a different type of lesson plan format, mas maganda yon. Halimbawa, ikaw ay isang teacher sa science at magtuturo ka ng different characteristics of the different types of matter such as the solid, liquid, and gas. Now, instead of having a discussion, naisip mo kaya na bigyan mo ng opportunities yung mga bata na sila mismo ang mag-create ng concept ng lesson. So, ngayon, ang gagamitin mo is yung 4E's and yung 5E's lesson plan format. Aliman doon sa dalawa ay okay yon. Doon pa lang sa moment na yon na binigyan mo ng opportunity ang mga bata na sila mismo ang magka-create ng sarili nilang learning, ibig sabihin, master mo yung lesson kasi kaya mong gawin siyang learner-centered. At tatandaan nyo din, an effective lesson plan uses the correct instructional strategies. Para sa hindi pa nakakaalam, ang instructional strategy ay personalized technique ng isang teacher sa pagtuturo ng isang specific lesson. Napapagdaanan natin ito sa mga lessons natin sa principles of teaching, or kung wala pa, you can research for different strategies in teaching certain lessons. Maraming ganyan sa internet. For example, ikaw ay isang mathematics teacher at magtuturo ka ng commutative property of multiplication sa mga estudyante mong musically inclined. Ibig sabihin, meron silang musical intelligences. Now, instead of giving a certain type of activity such as yung paper and pencil na activity, bakit hindi ka mag-create ng song about the commutative property of multiplication? Kasi iba-iba naman tayo ng types ng learners eh. Basta if we are creating activities that suits our learners really well, magiging maganda ay magiging effective ang pagtuturo natin. Second example, if the teacher uses an activity that allows the learners to come up or generate the concept of the lesson, maganda yon because the teacher uses a learner-centered approach. Now, ang proper lesson planning natin at ang pag-create natin ng instructional strategies is connected sa proper use of assessment. Because a teacher should always know that we can't use a single type of assessment all the time. Hindi dapat araw-araw paper and pencil test ang gagamitin nating assessment. A teacher should know the different kinds of assessment na magiging akma para sa mga lesson na ituturo natin sa mga bata. For example, kung ang lesson mo is all about reflecting on a short story, hindi ka dun pwede magkaroon ng objective type of test kasi nga magre-reflect nga yung mga bata. So, kailangan malaman mo yung mga opinion nila tungkol doon sa nabasa lang short story. So, ang gagamitin mo ngayon is essay. Pangalawa, kung ang learning competency mo is all about valuing the KKK revolution, instead of creating an objective type of lesson ulit, bakit hindi ka mag-role playing? So, as you can see, every lesson needs a specific or a proper assessment para maging effective siya sa mga bata. Ngayon naman, let us discuss meaningful content for our learners. So, paano natin gagawin ba yun? The answer for this is, if we focus more on learner-centered approaches in teaching. Now, what does this mean? Ibig sabihin, most of the time, kailangan ang learner mismo ang mag-come up or mag-generate ng concept ng lesson from the activities or questions presented by the teacher, which is only the facilitator of the lesson. For example, I would like you to study and examine this part of the lesson plan. Teachers should also use hands-on activities in teaching a lesson. Bakit? Bago lang din naman sa atin ang learning competency, mas magandang magkaroon muna na tayo ng hands-on activities or magsa-start tayo sa concrete level bago tayo magpunta sa abstract level. And if we want the learners to create more meaningful content, we must also be sensitive, consider, and use the different cultural beliefs and traditions of the community. Kasi imbes na gumamit ka ng mga specific terms or words na ginagamit lang naman sa urban areas, bakit hindi mo gamitin kung ano ang meron doon sa community ninyo? So instead of using donuts, cakes, sa mga problem-solving activities sa mathematics, bakit hindi mo gamitin yung suman, puto? Kasi as long as you're using the objects which are familiar to the learners, mas maganda yon. To make this simple, as teachers, we should always teach a lesson that is appropriate and suitable for our learners. And a lesson should always be clear. Kung ano lang ang learning objective, yun lang yung pag-aaralan nyo for that day. Wala ka ng ibang idadagdag kasi magiging magulo na yan sa mga isip ng mga bata. For example, kung ang learning competency mo is all about pagpapahalaga sa paghihimagsikan, which is for AP6, doon ka lang mag-stick. Kung ano ang learning objective, yun lang ang aralin nyo. Hindi porket paghihimagsikan, naglagay ka pa ng anti-bullying, tapos pati sa evaluation mo may anti-bullying pa rin. Mali iyon. Kung sa integration, okay siya, pero kung mas naging all about anti-bullying ang lesson mo, na magiging misleading siya at magiging ambiguous, magiging malabo yon at magiging magulo para sa mga bata. Kasi ano ba talagang tinuturo mo? Paghihimagsikan or anti-bullying? Malilito lang ang mga bata. So, always remember na kung ano lang ang learning objective, yun lang ang dapat mong ituturo, wala nang iba. Dito papasok ang pag-consider natin sa multiple intelligences ng ating mga learners. Ngayon, bakit kailangan nating i-consider ang iba't ibang intelligences ng mga bata? Because the learner learns in different sorts of ways. Kasi nga 'di ba, every child is special and every child is unique. Para ma-accommodate natin ang iba't ibang uri ng mga learners natin, kailangan nating practicein ang differentiated instruction sa mga activities natin. Now that you know the different concepts behind some of the Deped interview topics, I want you to answer the following questions. And if you want to know my answers about these questions, samahan niyo ako sa Facebook Live ko sa Wednesday at 11 a.m. O, di ba? Question for this episode. Why is it important for our teachers to be sensitive on what we teach to our learners? Kapag alam mo na ang sagot doon, mag-comment kayo dito sa comment section sa baba kasi interview question din yon. O, di ba? At kung sa tingin mo useful ang video na to, give this video a like, bigyan nyo siya ng thumbs up, huwag nyo kalimutang i-share, at mag-comment kayo kung gusto nyo na ng part 2 nito agad-agad na now na. At para sa lahat ng mga videos ko tungkol sa Deped Ranking, lesson plan tutorials, and other teacher-related stuff, iiwan ko ang lahat ng link dito sa description box. Once again, this is Niel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!